You're listening to the Spotless Podcast, where cleanliness is always next to potliness. Now, here are your hosts, Hannah Brooks Olson and Andrew Walsh.
Hannah, I'm trying to figure out if this is the first time this has ever happened to me. It seems unlikely that this is the first time this has ever happened to me, but I have a new tool that I almost only want to use because I enjoy cleaning it so much.
That's not that strange.
It's limited in its application to my life, but I had so much fun cleaning it yesterday. So I think I mentioned this on the show the last time we talked.
Wait.
Yeah. Oh, did you say you can't wait? Or
I
you
can't
telling
wait.
Me to wait?
No, I can't wait. No,
okay.
go.
So, obviously, you and anybody who has listened to me talk for more than 5 minutes knows that I am obsessed with the hedges around my house, right? Very tall hedges, about 8 feet tall in some areas, up to probably 10 or 12 in others, and super wide in the back. And I usually maintain them with these special hedge trimmers each year, give them a little haircut, cut off the new growth. But the ones in the back of the house are absolutely beastly. And a couple of years ago, I had to borrow my friend's chainsaw to cut them back properly. Like actually not just trim the new growth, but actually start to manage them, really cut into them and make them less wide. And as discussed on the show, I ran into a little trouble with that because I returned his chainsaw in a condition that he did not appreciate. Apparently, I needed to apply a little bit more tender, loving care to cleaning it off, which it was an honest mistake. I didn't know. I'd never really cared for a chainsaw before, but boy, do I care for a chainsaw now because I'm no longer allowed to borrow his. Fair enough. I bought my own chainsaw, or as I like to call it, a chainsaw on a stick. It's actually a pole saw that has about a 10-foot pole on it, and then the chainsaw is way at the end. Turns out I didn't really need that. I just thought, these hedges are tall. I need a pole saw. I would have been much better off just buying a regular handheld chainsaw. Anyway, yesterday I finally decided to unbox my new pole saw. And in doing so, I'm reading the instruction manual and I am watching videos on YouTube. What is the proper assembly and care and maintenance for this baby? And we alluded to this a little bit on the show last time we talked, that you do have to kind of keep it lubricated. You should clean it after using it. Definitely store it clean. And what I've learned is you're supposed to drain the oil out of it if you're not going to be using it kind of frequently. And yesterday, as I'm just destroying my hedges. I mean, I'm cutting them back so far. I'm going to send you some photos of these right now so you can see how green and lush they were originally and then what I was doing to them. It has to happen. This is going to be the painful part of the process as I cut them back. But what I realized is that pole saw, I didn't need it as much as I thought I was going to. There were some really thick branches, and so I used it for those. But it was a little bit more of a spotty usage than I expected. But the son of a gun gets so dirty so quickly. It's like essentially making mulch, right?
I mean,
it's cutting up these twigs, and then it's spinning it, and all of this mulch is going kind of into the kind of chassis of the thing where there's what? A lot of lubricant. And so it's just making this messy, mulchy, oily, gross substance that, boy, you'd really hate it if somebody just used your chainsaw and returned it to you in this way.
Yeah, and left it with gooey mulch on the inside. The other thing is, too, though, we don't really think a lot about how actually gross hedges and shrubs are until you're dealing with them. We have like an ivy growth that comes in from our neighbor's yard that we are in a constant battle
actually
against.
Like climbing ivy
it's
on the
coming
walls.
up over our fence, but the
Okay.
actual plant is on their side, so like I have to get back there and cut it back a lot, but I can't actually get rid of it because it's on the neighbor's side, and this
Would you get rid of it though? Are there no upsides of it? Is it nice? Is it pretty?
It's not like, well, one, it's quite invasive. Two, it tries to get onto like trees. It's the kind that grows up like a tree trunk, and so it can be really hard on your trees.
Yes, that's
it can
bad.
be hard on your fence. It'll push its way. It's like pushing its way into our garage. It's just very aggressive. So I get back there and cut it back. But it is so gross. Like when I'm in there, it's dusty. It is spidery. It's dirty. Like you end up like there's so much weird dirt in bushes. Like they're not just nice leaves.
The dust is incredible. Excuse me if I already said this on the show. I said this to, I think, Genevieve. But when I was just doing, like, on all the other hedges that surround our house, I was just doing the usual yearly maintenance earlier this year where I'm just cutting it back to where it was. And I noticed I was cutting it back exactly to where it was because I got to the point where the leaves were dusty again, if that makes sense. It was like the dust of last summer. Because when spring hits, and they're like, I think this is laurel, right? And it is so beautiful. You can almost stand there in an afternoon and watch it grow. It grows so quickly, and it's so green and so lush. It kind of kills you to cut it back, but you need to because it literally also just takes up space. Like, I reclaimed probably 3 feet of my yard yesterday.
This
what do you see some of these photos?
Yes, crazy, it is a very large amount. And again, the spideriness, the little animals that might be in there. Like, it is doing shrubbery is dirty work.
Yeah, I'm sending you some before and afters now, too, so you can sort of see what it was and then what it's becoming.
It's just a chunk. It looks like the Legend of Zelda. You just, chunked out, part of this hedge.
Yeah, so now here I'm going to send you because I ended up completing, I basically did the entire east side of these hedges, and it's now just like a wall of woody bramble instead of this beautiful soft to the touch greenery.
For listeners, I will put this on Instagram, and I will also put it'll be on if you're watching on YouTube, which you can do. We record these with video. You can see us. I will put these on the YouTube somewhere in here.
I know that I'm never exactly killing it in the fashion or let's just say looks game, but I'm especially grubby today because when I'm done here, I'm going back out because my backyard right now is just mountains and mountains of leaves and sticks and shrubs that I cut off, and so I'm still trying to trim off the greenery and put it in yard bags and then save the woody stuff for a burn pile, but it just takes forever. But also I need to now cut the top of it because I only cut the sidewall. But my God, as I was starting to learn how to use the saw, it kind of got caught up a couple of times in an unhealthy way on the branches, and the blade would kind of come off immediately. It would just, and I think that might even be a quasi-safety thing. It just immediately hit something it didn't like, and the chain came off. So I quickly had to learn how to put the chain back on. So I'm they have this very kind of easy, user-friendly little twisty thing that you unscrew, and then you can remove kind of the side of the chainsaw, and then it gives you very quick, easy access to the entire chainsaw and what do you call the thing that the chain goes around? I thought you said it before. I don't know if there's a word for it, but the actual slab.
I can't remember it. Yeah.
But when I was going in there to kind of fix the chain and get it back on the tracks, just like your bicycle chain or something, I am seeing how, oh my God, this is accumulating this mulchy stuff. And then by the end of the day, and I would clean it out a little bit. But when I got done for the day, I opened this thing up. I'm like, oh, look at this growtiness.
It's called the guide bar, by the way.
Guide bar? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
People like my dad are yelling at their
exactly. In fact, we're going to get some advice from your folks on this very topic in just a second, because I had mentioned this last week or on the last show that we did. But I ended up I had gone to the store before this thing even arrived. I had ordered it online. I had gotten the actual chain oil that you need to pour into the machine to keep the chain lubricated, but I also bought some machine grease, which kind of comes in an aerosol thing that thought I could maintain the chain with this. Some simple green in case I needed to clean off anything that got too sticky, and I was just kind of ready to go. But honestly, the thing maintains such a level of lubrication. I didn't really need anything other than a rag to wipe it off, which is, I think, why my friend was bummed. He's just kind of all you need to do is take a rag and wipe it off. And I did get some compressed air, which I know is not great for the environment, but there were little nooks and crannies where it just would not come out. So I and it came out so cleanly. And I put this thing back together, and it is like new, only better because it's got the gleam of the lubricant.
Yeah, it's been greased. Yeah, sure.
It's so great. I don't need this thing that much. And like I said, I really wish I'd bought just a handheld chainsaw. I'm now realizing this was a really kind of a foolish purchase, but it also came with the battery that I need that'll also run my lawnmower.
Well,
so
right,
that's
where
things
it's the
are
extra
really
battery.
Yeah,
the other thing, though, about the pole size, too, even if not always for this project, I think when you have a home, especially in the Pacific Northwest, where you have big trees, things that grow, like we have ice storms, we have, some winters that get a little wild. Like you really might need it in the future. You might be glad you have it and that you don't have to run out and get it at some point.
What bums me is it doesn't collapse like my pole trimmer does. It's like the same brand, but it must be slightly cheaper. Like it kind of stays together, so it takes up a lot of space to store. But I was thinking also, and I thought you were going here with this when you mentioned when you have a house in the Northwest and sometimes you might have to protect it, I'd rather protect it with a chainsaw and a pole than a chainsaw in my hand, because then your nemesis or your whatever the intruder or marauder or whoever it is, I don't want to have to defend them with a chainsaw that doesn't have a pole on it.
So you will be keeping it under the bed is what I'm hearing, or maybe behind a door somewhere.
Running. Yeah. Yes, under my pillow and running.
At all times.
At all times.
What's that very loud hum? Nothing.
Nothing.
It's my personal security pole saw. Get off my ass.
So I am very excited about this. I am looking for more opportunities to use my pole saw, so get at me if you have a hanging branch in your yard and you're in the general Seattle area.
Listen, I did that with my hot water expressor. I brought it over to a friend of the show, Rachel Bell's house, and I did use it. So there is precedent for us using our tools that we get in part for this program around the Seattle area.
And that's a classic pressure washer thing too. Didn't you
100%.
borrow your dad's, or he brought it over or whatever?
I did.
Does he, when you ask to borrow the pressure washer, does he just pressure wash what needs to be pressure washed, or does he just give you the machine?
He lent us the machine, and then Keith brought it, like we had it at our house, and then we gave it back to him, and then we ended up getting our own, same kind of deal. He is a much better pressure washer than we are, though. He really has the skill, because it is tough. It's not pressure washing.
Yeah, what does he do better?
He's just better at not like making it all streaky, because it is really easy. If you're pressure washing, it is very easy to just blast like weird ziggy zaggy lines. It is hard to get an even, and he's good at that.
That's interesting. Do you think that has to do with the angle? I've never used one, by the way, but I wonder if you're hitting the angle of the pressure washer to not just directly, but like perpendicularly to the surface, if it's going to be more likely to draw a line, as opposed to if you get a good angle on it and it's kind of coming in at 45 degrees or something.
I think it has to do with the amount of pressure you're applying too. I think that's a big part of it. So I do think that's.
Can you change the shape of the stream? Can you twist a nozzle so that sometimes it's like a flat line versus a point?
I think you can get. I think it's perhaps a bit like cake decorating, where you can get different nibs.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. I don't actually know that for sure. I haven't looked into it, but I think you can.
Can you put icing in this machine and have the best birthday party ever?
Can you imagine just shooting icing? Like a Ghostbuster?
That seems like something they would have in like the early 2000s. Remember in the early 2000s, or maybe the, 2010s, but I feel like it was earlier than that. Like every party had like a photo booth with and it became like this whole thing. Like you go to this corner of the party for this activity. And it's like, oh, look, it's a foam cowboy hat and an oversized candy cane. How did you guys think of that? Take some silly photos of me. God, I hate that era. By the way, I owe you an apology and all of our listeners, because I would guess that most of our listeners are exactly I would say more in your age range and your generation. And when I always say how much I hate the early 2000s, I realize what I'm saying is I just hate millennial culture. I never thought of it as a generational thing until recently, but flash mobs, public proposals, dancing down the aisle so you can go viral.
I hate all that too,
Glee, just like all of that shit. And I'm like, oh, it's millennial culture that I hate. My apologies. I don't want to start a generational war.
Here's the thing. It's a very specific type of millennial culture.
Yeah.
Theater kids.
Yeah.
And Disney adults.
Yeah.
It's that sort of, because like
that's
flash
not
mob,
your thing
I'd
either. Yeah.
sooner die. And I am like arch millennial in a lot of ways. Like there's a lot of things about me that are very deeply millennial. But that particular sort of like, I don't know. All I can think of is Disney adult. And part of it, obviously, I'm salty. I've never been to a Disney theme park because we were poor. Thanks. Yeah. So I have a chip on my shoulder about Disney stuff generally. And I don't understand it. And I think once you get to a certain age, if you haven't participated in it, you are never going to understand it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's part of that like millennial optimism thing. Like the economy was temporarily good under Obama, and then we just like had to do something with ourselves, and then it all broke again.
What is the other side of millennial culture? It's like the more dark, like kind of quasi goth. Like, what's that alternative goth music that you guys are into?
You guys are into. I don't know. All the music I listen to comes from the 1950s.
Tell your grandpa what you guys are listening to these days. You know what I'm talking about? Like, where they have names like, I don't know, they have like these over elaborate names, these bands. They drape themselves in black. Like skinny black jeans, and then also...
Are you talking about indie sleaze? Because that's what they've called it now. I don't know, dude.
I don't know
we just called it like...
about.
We called it hipsters. Now they call it indie sleaze.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. All I know is that there was a period of time where Keith's friend got married, and Keith had to wear suspenders to play the guitar for the wedding.
Oh no, that sounds more like Mighty Mighty Boss Tone-ish. That sounds more like some
it was like a Lumineers situation. He looked like a Lumineer.
Right. Okay. I was actually trying to catch some of the. I was going to try to like absorb some of the smoke as a Gen Xer on that, but no, Lumineers, the hand clap, stompy stomp. Absolutely.
We went to this wedding, which by the way has since they are divorced.
When you have to do something you don't want to do, and then they get a divorce. I was just talking about this recently.
This wedding, we knew. So, okay, just while we're talking about millennial culture, we're going to have a real quick diversion here.
I don't know what we're doing here. This is my fault.
I don't care because I want to talk about it. It's 13, 14 maybe. And there was a period of time where every wedding, again, to your point, had the giant Jenga.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Maybe cornhole, that kind of thing. And so we went to this wedding, and I had talked to my friend of the show, Melissa. She and I were very into what people were doing for wedding trends at the time, because I had gone with her at one point to go to one of just like look for wedding dresses, and like honestly I was like pretty bitchy about my feelings about wedding dresses, but it was because I had seen literally every girl we knew get married in functionally the same strapless sweetheart neckline dress. Like everyone had the same dress.
But so, also if somebody's bringing Hannah Brooks Olsen on a wedding dress trying out, like, or try on, or whatever you guys call it.
You know what you're getting.
You know what you're getting into.
Yes, correct. So my friend Melissa was like getting married at that time, so we were very critical of like wedding trends. And so I told her about this wedding we were going to that Keith was playing in, and she was like, okay, you're going to text me all day, and I'm going to guess what's there, and you're going to tell me yes, no. So all day we're at this wedding. She said, I'm wearing, by the way, I'm not that above it. I'm wearing a dress from ModCloth to this wedding. So if you know, you know.
You're in so you're not in the party?
I'm not in the party. I was a guest, and I knew almost nobody there. So I was like, I made friends with the photographer at one point. That's how I like got through it. So she texts me, and she goes, burlap and lace, and I was like, check. Giant Jenga, check. Mason jar decorations, check.
Oh, mason jar decorations, yes.
Loopy scripted handwritten cards and signs, check.
Oh, what about, can I try? Can I play?
Yes.
How about mini Polaroids?
Yep, little Polaroids.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I kind of like. I actually think that's fun, but still.
I don't remember if there was a photo booth. A lot of little like wooden signs around.
With twine.
There was a lot of twine. Little twinkly lights in jars. A lot of that kind of deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I want to say, I don't think there was a cake. I think it was a donut cake.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
That was like either like people were very against a big cake at that time. They would do anything else. And there was a couple others, but there was a period where that summer we were at a wedding almost every weekend, and they were just the same. It was just that's millennial culture.
Yeah. And also that era of just your life, of one's life, no matter what your generation.
The
is,
wedding summer,
a wedding every weekend. Tell me more about donut cake, because I'm picturing this several different ways. First of all, when you first said it, I just thought it was a cake, only it was kind of made with donut ingredients, so the cake
it's like a
itself
donut
is donut-y.
tower. It's like instead of cutting
it's a donut tower. That's more fun. That's more wacky than what I was picturing.
We went to a couple of things that had either a donut cake or they had like pedophores, like little cakes.
I do love pedophores. I love anything that's miniature.
Well, in a pedophore too, I like a pedophore too because you get a good amount of frosting or like whatever sometimes it's fondant, sometimes it's frosting, right? And because it's individual, you can just go like grab it, right? It's not like a slice situation.
Yeah. I might go get some pedophores. Where do you get a pedophore on just a random day?
Well, today you can't get anything because we are recording this on the nation's
No,
birthday.
That is true.
And everything is closed.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, find a bakery. Is there a bakery? I'm trying to think. There's one in Greenwood that probably would have them.
Yeah, maybe they have them at Chocolati, which isn't far from here. And also I learned is where my buddy Luke's dad's sign shop originally was on Aurora.
Yes.
Chocolati.
I remember this. Yes.
Okay, listen, we are far away from talking about cleaning, but let's go back to, and sorry, I can feel everybody tensing up when I say this, my chainsaw. But slow down. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. We were just mentioning your mom. Well, your mom had some chainsaw cleaning advice and also some content teaser.
Hey, number one here. Andrew, you are right. I have not called since February.
Oh, that's right. I was giving Julie a hard time. Not a hard time. I was
worried she was mad at
concerned.
you.
I was worried that she was mad at me because, we play most of your mom's phone calls on the show, but sometimes we don't have time or they don't work themselves in. And I was like, I wonder if your mom is secretly mad at me for not playing all of her voicemails. But I think we're okay. I think we're cool.
My apologies. Of course I'm not mad at you. Here's what I'm going to tell you today. Hannah's dad, who has cut trees, planted trees, choked trees, set trees.
Did she say choked trees?
Yes, that is in the woods.
Out of anger?
No, we love trees.
No, you never choke a tree out of anger.
No, they ask for it. They like it, actually. Trees are into it. No, a choke setter is a guy on a logging rig, and it's, I believe, as I understand it, it's when you fell a really big tree and then you have to get it down the hill, you put it in you have to bind it, you like clamp it up and then take it down, and so that's like choke setting, is you're setting the I'm making a motion with my hands that people can't see if they're not watching, but anyway, yes, choke setting. Choke is a part.
Oh, sorry. I just accidentally made your mom interrupt you. Did that feel like Thanksgiving?
It felt like every single conversation I've ever had with her. She and I just talk at the same time. That's the thing. If you want the real Hannah and Julie experience, you just play her voicemail, and I will talk over it.
You just talk over it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I'll just turn the volume up ever louder, so you guys can compete with each other.
Trees, set trees. He's worked in the woods, fought fires in the forest, done lots of stuff. So,
has he smoked trees, I think, is the question that we've left out of this. You don't have to answer that.
This is how you clean a chainsaw. You use what's called saw fuel, which is a combination, I don't know what the measurements are, 2-stroke oil and the gasoline that you're using for that's the saw fuel. You take the chain off to clean the bar, and you use what you put in the engine to clean it with. That's his advice.
That makes sense to a degree. By the way, can you hear my dog? I don't know what's going on with my dog. Do you hear a dog barking her damn head off in the background?
Oh, now I can.
No, okay. I'm glad it's not as disturbing to you as it is to me. It is so loud. I don't know. We have a contractor who just came by, and I think
that sounds like
she
someone's there.
Hears, yes, and she is going crazy. In fact, if this continues, I might have to stop and settle that down because it's disturbing me. But anyway, that sort of makes sense. I will say the saw, at least on first use when I use it, it was so lubricated by its natural sort of like, I filled the reservoir with this exact lubrication that your mom is talking about, and then it just, by the time I take it apart, it was like glistening with lubrication, and so all I had to do was kind of like wipe it off. It was very, very satisfying.
Now, wait, real quick though, do you have to worry about putting on too much like grease or lubricant? Because I know that this can happen with bicycles, like bike chains. If you over grease a bike chain, the amount of road dirt you get in it is going to make that nasty paste, and so it can gum up the work. So I do wonder if that's a possible concern.
Well, that's interesting. Well, like I said, though, the only lubrication that has been applied has been through the machine itself. So I actually did not apply any extra. You just put it in the reservoir, and then as it kind of spins, it lubricates itself. Now, so that was chainsaw talk. Now we have a few more seconds left in this voicemail that I found intriguing.
And Hannah has a couple of stories to share. She's here this weekend, so you'll get to hear all about what happened at our house and how I have too many rugs on the kitchen floor. Okay. Talk to you soon.
So what is that all about?
So my entire life, my mom, instead of having well, we always had carpet, but she hated vacuuming, and she just, I don't know, she's such a strange person. So she would just have a series of rugs. There's just rugs on top of carpet all over the house.
Okay.
And she would just buy rugs. She just had, we were in their storage unit last week, and there was like probably 6 rugs just like chilling.
So is this like George Costanza, like she doesn't want to vacuum the rug, so she just buys a new rug? Isn't that what he wanted to do with underwear?
Yeah, kind of, yes. And she would like sweep the rug, but not actually like launder the rug. Sometimes you take the rug outside and shake it out. That was like a big one.
That seems like so much more work. What
You're
are we
telling me.
saving here?
I don't know. But in her house currently, there's just a series of different rugs, and it drives me up the wall. But the actual story that she has told me to tell is related to something you said in our last show, which is you were talking about how great it would be if you could see in your either dishwasher or your washer dryer. I don't remember what we were talking about. The washer.
Oh, the washing machine.
How if you could see
Clothes
the
washer.
water coming
Yes.
out, because we were talking about washing clothes, and we were talking about the laundry lesbian, and how like we don't often think about how the water is pulling stuff out with it. Like that's sort of a big. That is the purpose of laundry, right? Is that the water, like you can rinse something and it'll pull out some stuff, but if you're using an actual detergent with, what's the suds word?
Oh, she said it a lot in her tiki-taki, and I already can't remember it.
The thing that makes soap, basically, or makes detergent a detergent, and now I can't remember the name. It'll come to me, I'm sure.
But it's like the component that actually kind of captures the
Yes.
dirt and then carries it off,
and
carries
it away. Yes. I keep wanting to say saponifier, but that's not it. Again, listeners are yelling. Sorry.
You talk, I'll Google.
Okay. Surfactants. I got it. Nope, there it is.
There you
Surfactants.
go, okay.
So they strip things away, right? And we were talking about how it would be so great if you could see the washing, like if you had basically a see-through washer is what we were talking about.
Yeah, or a see-through tube.
Yes.
The piping.
So my mother tells me this story about my great-grandmother. So my great-grandmother is she's American in that she was born in America, but she is a Mexican woman. She was very glamorous. She had like a little bouffant. She's like 4'9", maybe. Always with a red lip and a cigarette and just a little sassy little lady. So she went in to go buy a new washing machine because they had just come out, and she went to like whatever her local appliance store with her little kerchief over her head and her little cigarette, and came in to go buy a washing machine. And they were new, and she was so excited because she comes from the generation where like she hand washed laundry, and then she had a wringer, and we had a whole show where we talked about getting your tits in a wringer, right? This is the same. This is my mother's grandmother, okay? Her name is Dorothy Madeline. Everyone called her Dora. So Dora goes in to the little salesman, and on the floor model, like the washing machine floor model, there is one that is all glass. It's a washing machine that you can see through so that you understand what this magic box does, because it's new.
My God.
It's a new invention.
Dora, did you do it?
So Dora goes in. She's like, well, I want that one. And the sales machine is like, oh, no, Mrs. Rapp, you can't. So her last name is Rapp, by the way, R-A-P-P. And that's because her dad is a German guy. Her husband's dad is a German guy. My grandmother's maiden name was Alvarado, just for reference. Okay. But so she's Mrs. Rapp, and everyone calls her Mrs. Rapp, right? Oh, Mrs. Rapp, that's just the floor model. They don't actually look like that. In your home, they don't look like that. They look like, and he shows her like one of the ones that's like a regular washing machine.
No, but
and she's
Dora
like,
wants the see-through one.
She goes, I don't want that one. I want this one.
Yes,
I want to be able
Dora,
to see it.
Yes.
And he's like, no, you can't. Like, this doesn't operate. And she loved a bit. So she loved a bit. One of her favorite things to do to harass my grandfather, her son-in-law, was she would be like, I don't want my own cigarette. But then she would just reach over and take his and then like smoke it a little bit, get a big old lipsticky mark on it, and then give it back to him because she knew he hated it. And he would just be like, oh my God, just get your own. So she is haranguing this poor man who's also trying to make a sale, right? So finally she's like, okay, fine. You won't sell me the see-through one. Fine. So she gets a washing machine. So excited. Great. And then dishwashers came out. She goes back to the store. They have a see-through dishwasher as well. And she's like, I would like this dishwasher. And he goes, Mrs. Rapp, we've been through this. This is the same situation. You cannot have this dishwasher. And she's like, but I really, really want the see-through dishwasher because I want to see if my dishes are getting clean. And he's like, that's why we have the floor model, so you can so we can demonstrate it.
Yeah.
you can rest assured you're getting the same thing. You just can't see through it. And she's like, but I want to. And finally, she's like, why can't I have it? And he's like, because if you have this one, then other people don't get to see how it works.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, fine. I don't want other people to not see the magic of this machinery. I understand. Okay, it's for other people. Fine. But so she got a regular one. But when you were talking about like what if you could see?
Yeah.
Though my mom remembered this story and was like, oh yeah,
now I want those.
I know
That
and
would be
also
amazing.
what a different. We used to be a proper country where you would go into an appliance store and you got like a demonstration of the thing.
Well, this is the era when a vacuum cleaner salesperson would come to your door and dump a bunch of dirt on your floor and then vacuum
filth
it
up your floor.
Exactly.
To show it how functional the vacuum sweeper was. Yeah.
Well,
so,
what a great transition, because that is the back half of our show, my friend. I have 2 voicemails here. And this is one of those situations where I listened to one, and I was like, oh, that's great. We'll play it on the show. And you never know what the next voicemail on the voicemail line is going to be. And then I start listening to the second one. I'm like, oh, this is also great. But it makes the same exact point. But then I kept listening, and it turns out we got 2 voicemails on the same topic that take a wildly different turn, I feel like. And I'm very excited about this. And both of them are related to this desire that we now have to see the dirt that leaves our clothes as it leaves a washing machine. You and I think, had put together some sort of fantastical house of the future, or maybe house of the past, where maybe you can open up a little door and then look into your wall. Maybe there's a plexiglass screen there or something, and you can watch the clear tubes carry away your dirty water from your washing machine. Well, this is what I believe she pronounced her name, Andrea, had to say about this.
Hey, Andrew. This is Andrea of Port Townsend and of various other places, but currently Port Townsend. And I was just hearing you talk about how much you would love to see the dirty water draining out of your washing machine. And I want to tell you, it's the best thing ever. I've had a couple places where I've lived where instead of that water draining out into a mysterious tube to God knows where, it drains into our little laundry sink. So if you sit there and sorry, there's drunk people driving by with their heads out the sunroof. Anyway,
what's happening in Port Townsend?
I'm outside of a bar right now.
Oh,
I'm very cool and listen to podcasts outside of bars. Anyway,
can we be friends?
So I tell you, if you get a setup where you have it draining into a sink, then you can totally watch that happen. And it is exactly as satisfying as you think it is. Also, if listener number 67 has not been taken yet, that is the listener number I would like. And I'm the person that once called about my basement being flooded with sewage, if that gives you context. We don't live there anymore. We're safe.
All right. Andrea, 6'7", not taken, surprisingly. You're screwing up your face, Hannah. You don't approve of this Zoomer behavior. Is it Zoomer?
Again, yeah, I am a millennial. And so the only funny number to us is 69.
Yes.
You know,
did you see?
We cannot lose the original texts.
Nobody is listener number 69. How amazing is that?
That is
we
amazing.
have, by the way, Andrea, you are slotted at number 67 now, 67. You are, let's see here, I guess below Abby in Amsterdam, our friend who restores paintings.
Yes.
She is number 65, and Carol in Philly is number 71. So you're sitting pretty right there between the two of them.
And 69 is available for somebody.
Somebody on Blue Sky, and again, you can never tell if something is real or if it has been somewhat fabricated or whatever, but like somebody had taken a photo of one of those gift store stands that it was like kind of similar to like maybe you could grab your name if you saw Hannah, you get a license plate with your name on it, or Andrew or whatever. Although I'm guessing you were usually screwed on that because Hannah's probably usually spelled with an H on the end. Yeah.
Yes.
But there was something like that regarding numbers, and there were 69s left, but all the 67s were gone, all the 67s, and somebody was like, "That's it. We're handing over the keys to the next generation." Like,
yeah, that's how you know that you've just aged out of relevance.
That's right. It's over, which I'm fine with that. 6'7" is a little less a little less coarse, I
The
guess.
first time that my niece hit me with an actual 6'7", it was a big moment for me
And
because
she
I had
did
only
the
she
balancing.
did, and I had only ever heard I'd heard urban legends that's what
Yeah.
the kids were into, and then somebody said oh, they're going to be coming around 6 or 7,
Yeah.
and she goes 6, and I was like, it's real.
Yeah, at least 69 is a thing. 6'7" is just it's like Bitcoin. You can really see how the generations. You know what I mean? It's not really based on anything.
It's
just
like a
it's just
YouTube. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm sure there's a.
Anyway,
I'm sure it
Okay.
came from Mr. Beast or something else I don't understand aggressively.
Andrea, so you have a washing machine or had a washing machine where the tubes would drain not through the walls and then through the pipes into the sewer, but into your wash tub. First of all, I have a distinct memory of growing up and having
Yes.
a wash bin that did that same
I
thing.
had the
I
same
don't know how
memory.
I didn't remember this. It was
Same.
like this black tube, like a hook. It hooked over the sink, and it was like our work sink in the basement. Although it's weird because I swear the washing machine and stuff was upstairs, but it must have snaked through the house somehow because I can picture the little what do you call those bands that the zip tie or whatever
Yes.
that held it to the sink.
Yes, and I had the same. It's so funny when she said that I had the same thing. But our washer was next to the utility sink in the hallway, and so you would go through the hallway sometime, and it would just be coming out. But I was a youth, so I didn't think to stop and look at the water.
Wait, no, that's right. I was picturing our wash bin being in the basement, but no, the wash bin itself was next to the washer and dryer in the laundry room. My memory of our house, which I lived there for the first 15 years of my life or something, so it felt very cemented in my mind, and obviously my most formative years, 0 to 15, right? In fact, I often still have dreams where I go back to my childhood home. At age 49, I'm realizing some details are starting to slip away from me. I can sort of remember where the laundry room was. I believe it was sliding doors in the hallway. It wasn't actually a room. I think you just maybe slid door, but I can't even say that for sure anymore. It bums me out when I realize, oh, that's a hole in my memory there. But
Yeah.
I got a lot of holes in my memory. Here's the point of all this. I got another voicemail here from Kyler, who starts off saying something similar, but like I said earlier, kind of takes a different turn.
Hello, this is Tyler. I do not have a number, and that's okay. This message is in response to Andrew's comment in the last episode where he asked whether we would like to see the dirty water drain out of the laundry machine. So my laundry machine is actually in my basement, and rather than having a separate drain, it drains through a pipe that simply hooks to the utility sink next to my machine. And so when the water drains, it literally goes into the sink and I can watch it drain if I'm in there. And it is gross. I consider myself.
So we have one person who loved watching it drain, so you could get that. But Kyler, not into the scene.
A fairly clean person. I'm currently working as a lawyer with an office job, so I don't get particularly dirty on a daily basis. But the water that drains from my laundry is grossly dirty, and it's practically nightmare-inducing. So if you or Hannah really want to see this dirty water, you're welcome to come to my creepy basement in Ballard and see the machine in action. But I recommend against it. The way that my machine works is totally normal. It's not unusual. It's just a style of drain, and I recommend against it. I like to not see that water. Anyway, thanks. Have a great day.
I have been in that basement, in fact, because I know
the
because
creepy
Kyler's
basement.
an old friend of mine. It is a very it's a basement.
Yeah.
But the next time I'm up there, I would like to see that water. You don't
Do you
have to
wanna
look
see-
at it.
Do you want to see Kyler's dirty water, though? I have no desire to see Kyler's dirty water. I want to see the dirty water coming off of my clothes. I want to see.
Yeah,
I
that's
want to gamify it. I want to go out. I want to live more of a rich life so that I come home with dirtier clothes. I want to cut more hedges.
I mean, after the hedging, again, hedges are gross.
Yeah.
So that would be.
I took a shower yesterday where I would look down after my day I got out there in the late afternoon, probably around 2:30 or something, and worked until it was literally too dark to work anymore, and then I continued to kind of trim the kind of like trimmed the leaves off of the sticks, kind of separating, and started a fire in my backyard in a little solo stove. And I listened to the ball game, which was sad and angry making. But point is, I was outside in the yard from about 2:30 in the afternoon until about 11:30 at night, and then I finally came in about 11 or 11:30, and I took a shower, and I took my shoes off. I was wearing like just shorts and these slip-on shoes. I took my shoes off. My feet below where my shoes were was the only clean part of my body. There was a delineation. I took a photo of it, but then it was so gross I deleted it immediately before it would upload to the cloud. I was so gross. I took a shower, and it was one of those showers where you wash your hair and you can feel all the bits of everything in your hair. And I just look down on my white tub, and I just see the dirt pooling below me, and it is so damn satisfying.
That is, when you take a shower like that, it's like sometimes after my long run when I take a shower like that, and I'm like, my hair is already wet when I get in. It's so gross, but it feels so good.
Yeah, and it feels so good. And then you get out and you just feel like a Catholic
new person
who just left confession.
Yes,
exactly, exactly.
Absolutely.
So I do love those two different perspectives on this.
Yeah,
like kind of like I mean, are we the Crossfire of cleaning podcasts? Maybe.
Sometimes we just have to offer both sides. And the one side is that dirt is gross,
right.
and the other one is kind of satisfying.
All right, we have to leave it there today, but obviously we need listeners to weigh in on this. Are you pro seeing the dirty water or anti seeing the dirty water vis-a-vis your washing machine? And does it differ based on appliance? Does
I
the same
was
rule
just
apply
gonna
to
ask that. Is it because it's clothes and so it's like it was on you? Does that make it worse than, say, like the hot water extractor from the rug?
Right. Does it make it better or worse? Like, for example, I don't want to see this with my dishwasher, I've
No,
decided.
I do not want to see the
gross,
dishwasher.
and it doesn't feel like I've accomplished anything. But there's something about clothes that sort of feels like that's dirt that I acquired during the day.
That was hard-earned
even at your lawyer job.
dirt.
Yeah.
Well, and Kyler she used to do more on-site things, and so she used to have to, like, go to a gravel pit. So I think in previous times she's had grimier clothes, if I had to guess. But yeah, no, now she has a very inside-y job, so. But it is remarkable how
gravel pit attorneys that I've heard.
Yeah,
so much
one
about.
of those.
Yes.
There is, though, something about like the things that come off of your body that is.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I want to know do you want the Dorothy wrap see-through washer dryer or not?
Shout out to Dorothy. Shout out to Dora. All right, everybody. You're going to hear how you can get a hold of us. We'd love to hear from you for some future episodes of Spotless. But until then, we will talk to you in a couple of weeks.
You've been listening to the Spotless Podcast. If you have a question for Hannah and Andrew or some cleaning advice, call the Spotline at 508-HOW-WASH. That's 508-469-9274. You can also email them at spotlesspod@gmail.com. We'll be back soon. But until then, always remember, life is messy, but it doesn't have to be.